Hey, if you've spent years avoiding ice cream because of your diabetes, then I have some great news for you. I put together this presentation just for you ice cream lovers. So get ready for some ice cream. I think you're going to really love this.
What if the dessert you gave up the day you got your diagnosis is actually one of the most blood sugar-friendly foods you could eat? Not some processed sugar-free substitute, not a product with a diabetes-friendly label on the front and maltitol buried in the ingredient list. Real ice cream, made from whole food that actively works with your metabolism instead of against it. Ice cream is not the enemy. The kind of ice cream and the way it's made, that is where the truth has been hiding. In the next 20 minutes, Steve Smith, a type 1 diabetic with nearly 60 years of lived experience, is going to show you 5 versions of ice cream that belong back in your freezer. He is going to explain the science behind why they work, and he is going to warn you about 3 products being marketed directly at diabetics that are quietly making things worse. Stay through number 5. It costs less than $1 a serving. You can make it tonight, and it might be the most surprisingly delicious thing you have eaten in years. Steve Smith was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes as a child. That means for nearly 60 years, every single meal has been a real-world experiment. Not in a lab, in a real life, with physical work, family, pressure, and all the unpredictability that comes with it. He has watched the dietary advice shift over the decades. Low fat, low carb, keto, paleo. He has tried most of it. He has tested his own glucose response to all of it, with a real meter on his own body. About 10 years ago, Steve went deep into the peer-reviewed research on whole food, plant-based, low-fat eating. The clinical work of Dr. Neil Barnard, Dr. Caldwell Estelson, Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Dean Ornish. When he applied those findings to how he was actually eating, not just reading about them, but living them, everything changed. His insulin requirements dropped, his energy stabilized, his A1C moved into a range he had not seen in years. Today, Steve builds custom homes and does woodworking for a living. Hours in the shop every day, real physical demands on his body. His system works not just on paper, it works in a life that has weight and pressure in it. He created the Dominate Diabetes system to share what he has learned, not to replace your doctor, not to sell you anything, to give you the piece of the picture that most medical conversations never reach, which is how food actually behaves inside your body at the cellular level. Which brings us to ice cream.
Here is what almost nobody tells you about diabetes and blood sugar. The problem is not sugar sitting in your bloodstream. That is the symptom. The actual problem, the mechanism underneath, is fat in the wrong place. When fat accumulates inside your muscle cells, researchers call this intramyocellular lipid. It creates interference. Insulin tries to unlock the door and let glucose into the cell. But when there is fat clogging the lock, the key does not work properly. That is insulin resistance. That is what drives type 2 diabetes. And that is what makes managing type 1 so much harder than it needs to be. Dr. Neil Barnard's research showed this directly. When study participants switched to a low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet, without calorie restriction, without portion obsession, that intramyocellular fat began to clear. As it cleared, insulin sensitivity improved. Blood sugar response improved, in many cases dramatically.
So when Steve looks at what to eat, including what ice cream to eat, he is not just asking how many grams of sugar are in this. He is asking, does this food help clear the interference, or does it add to it? Animal fat, dairy fat, saturated fat. These are the compounds that accumulate inside muscle cells and drive insulin resistance. The system Steve follows, whole food, plant-based, low-fat, is not about being afraid of flavor. It is about removing the root cause of the problem. And when you build ice cream inside that framework, something remarkable happens. You get food that is genuinely delicious, genuinely satisfying, and genuinely supportive of your blood sugar at the same time. Here are 5 versions of ice cream, All of them whole food, plant-based, and low-fat that belong back in your life. Number 1. Frozen banana nice cream, the foundation. This is where Steve starts everyone in his system, and he starts here because it is the one that surprises people the most. Take a ripe banana, slice it, freeze it for at least 4 hours, then blend it. That is the base recipe, one ingredient. When you freeze a banana and let it thaw partially before blending, something happens inside the starch called retrogradation. A portion of the regular digestible starch converts into resistant starch. Resistant starch does not get broken down into glucose. It passes through your digestive system largely intact, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut instead. Research from Johns Hopkins and agricultural studies from Clemson Extension both confirm the same finding. Resistant starch improves insulin sensitivity and significantly slows the post-meal blood sugar response. No added sugar, no dairy, no insulin resistance trigger. Natural sweetness, fiber, potassium, and B6 all in one ingredient. The price? Roughly 30 to 50 cents a serving. The texture? Genuine soft serve. People are always shocked the first time they make it. Number 2. Nice cream with peanut butter and cacao. This is Steve's personal most eaten version. He makes it several times a week. The recipe: 1 frozen banana, 2 tablespoons natural peanut butter, no added sugar, no added oil, ½ teaspoon true Ceylon cinnamon, 1 tablespoon unsweetened pure cacao powder. Blend until smooth. Here is what each ingredient is doing. The peanut butter brings healthy plant-based fat and protein. That combination triggers GLP-1, a hormone that slows how quickly food leaves your stomach and smooths out the glucose response. You may have heard of Ozempic. It is a drug designed to imitate GLP-1. Real food has been doing this for free for thousands of years. Ceylon cinnamon, not the cassia variety sold in most grocery stores, but true Ceylon, has been shown in multiple studies to improve how your GLUT transporters carry glucose out of the bloodstream and into cells. It supports the very function that insulin resistance impairs. And the cacao. Unsweetened pure cacao contains a compound called epicatechin. Research shows epicatechin actively supports the health of your pancreatic beta cells, the cells responsible for producing insulin. You are not just eating dessert, you are giving your pancreas something it can use. Under $1 a serving, every ingredient has a functional reason to be there. Number 3. Frozen mango or pineapple with lime. Show vivid tropical color. Golden mango, bright pineapple. This one photographs beautifully. The recipe? 2 cups frozen mango or frozen pineapple, juice of 1 lime, optional pinch of chili powder or fresh ginger. Blend until smooth, serve immediately or freeze 20 minutes for a firmer texture. Mango and pineapple have a moderate glycemic index, but when you eat them as whole food, you get the fiber alongside the sugar. That fiber slows digestion and flattens the glucose curve in a way that extracted juice or added sugar never could. The lime juice does more than add brightness. Citric acid slows the rate of gastric emptying slightly, giving your body more time to process the sugars at a gentler pace. And because there is no dairy fat, no animal protein, no saturated fat, nothing here is adding to insulin resistance. Your insulin is free to do its job. Number 4. Frozen berry blend with chia. The recipe? 1 1/2 cups mixed frozen berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, splash of unsweetened plant milk, almond or oat, optional 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Blend and serve or freeze 30 minutes for thicker texture. Berries are the most blood sugar-friendly fruits in the produce aisle. Low glycemic index, packed with polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress, one of the key drivers of diabetic complications over time. The chia seeds are doing something important. When chia hydrates, it forms a gel. That gel slows the rate at which everything else moves through your digestive system. It is a natural, food-based slow-release effect that expensive supplements try to replicate artificially. If long-term protection of your circulation, your kidneys, and your eyesight matters to you, and it should, this one belongs in your regular rotation.
Number 5. Frozen banana and date caramel nice cream. The recipe? 2 frozen bananas, 2 medjool dates, pits removed, soaked in warm water 10 minutes, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, a pinch of sea salt. Blend until completely smooth. The medjool dates create a natural caramel flavor that is genuinely remarkable. No added sugar, no refined sweetener, just the concentrated natural sugars of a whole fruit, and with them, the fiber, the potassium, and the magnesium that come along for the ride. Dates have a glycemic index of around 42 to 55, but when you pair them with the resistant starch of frozen banana, the actual blood sugar response is significantly gentler than either number suggests alone. The sea salt activates sweetness receptors on the tongue, making the whole thing taste more complex, which means you feel more satisfied with a smaller serving. Under $1 a serving. Tastes like a dessert from a high-end restaurant, and every ingredient is actively supporting your metabolic health.
Now, let's talk about what to avoid. Some of these products are being marketed specifically at people with diabetes. They're using your diagnosis to sell you something that does not serve you. Warning 3. Low-fat and fat-free frozen desserts. The low-fat message has been drilled into diabetics for decades, and the instinct to reach for it made sense given the information people had. But here is what happened. When manufacturers removed fat from frozen desserts, the product lost its richness, so they added sugar, more sugar than was in the original product. Saturated animal fat is a problem, but the solution is not to remove fat and add sugar. The solution is to remove animal products entirely and build the food from whole plants instead. Low-fat dairy ice cream with added sugar is worse for your blood sugar than full-fat dairy ice cream. The data is clear on this, yet the low-fat version is still sitting in the health food section of most grocery stores, being sold to diabetics as the responsible choice. The shortcut? If you see the words light, reduced fat, fat-free, or skinny on a dairy-based frozen dessert, put it back. Warning: commercial frozen yogurt. Both store-bought cartons and self-serve shop versions is one of the most misrepresented products in the health food space. The marketing is brilliant. Yogurt sounds healthy, so frozen yogurt must be the responsible version of ice cream. Compare the labels. Many leading commercial frozen yogurt products contain equal or greater sugar than premium full-fat dairy ice cream. Same serving size, more sugar, less fat to slow the glucose response. At a self-serve shop, a medium cup with granola and sauce can easily hit 60 to 80 grams of sugar in a single sitting. That is one of the highest glycemic loads available in any food format anywhere. And the probiotic claim? Most commercial frozen yogurt products do not contain live active cultures in any meaningful amount. The processing destroys them. You are paying a health premium for a product that has already lost the one thing that made the original food valuable. Warning: sugar-free ice cream sweetened with maltitol. This is the most important warning. This is the one that matters most, because this product is designed to look like a gift to people with diabetes, and it is not. Sugar-free ice cream sweetened with maltitol, every other sugar alcohol on the market. Peer-reviewed nutrition research states clearly that maltitol has a meaningful impact on blood glucose, unlike erythritol, which has almost none. The trap compounds itself because of the sugar-free label.
People eat double the serving they would normally eat. They feel virtuous about it. And then they wonder why their numbers are not moving.
There is also a gastrointestinal effect. Maltitol acts as a laxative in significant amounts. Bloating, cramping, diarrhea, and the dehydration that follows concentrates glucose in the blood, making the spikes sharper and longer. The 5-second label rule. Flip any sugar-free frozen dessert over and scan the first 3 ingredients. If you see maltitol, maltitol syrup, or sorbitol, put it down. You do not need to read another word. The brands to leave on the shelf: Breyers, no sugar added; Turkey Hill, no sugar added; Edie's and Dreyer's, no sugar added, and most store-brand sugar-free versions at major chains. The reason these 5 recipes are safe is not just their ingredients, it is the system they belong to. Whole food, plant-based, low-fat. These are not restrictions. They're a framework that lets your body do what it was built to do. Manage glucose efficiently, maintain insulin sensitivity, protect your cells from the inside. When you build every meal inside that framework, dessert stops being a source of anxiety. It becomes part of the plan. And that matters more than any single food choice, because sustainability is everything. The approach you can actually live with, the one that still has pleasure and flavor and enjoyment in it, is the one that will actually change your numbers over time. Steve has been living proof of this for nearly 60 years, not in a lab, in a real life, with a job that demands physical work, with a family, with all the pressure and unpredictability that a real life brings. The Dominate Diabetes system is built around this framework. If you're ready to go deeper to understand not just the what, but the why, and to build a daily approach that actually fits your life, the link is in the description below. Start tonight. Open your freezer. Check the labels. Throw out anything with maltitol. And if you have a ripe banana on your counter, slice it, freeze it, and make yourself something tomorrow that proves this does not have to be a life of deprivation. Drop a comment below. Tell us which one you made, what your glucose meter showed, and how it tasted. Your real-world data matters, and other people watching this video need to hear it. If someone you love gave up every dessert the day they got their diagnosis, send them this video. They deserve to know this exists.
Well, I hope you like that, but I want to leave you with something bigger than a list of ice cream choices, even though they're really good. The reason these 5 recipes work is not just their ingredients. It's a system they belong to. Whole food, plant-based, low-fat. These are not restrictions, not by any means. They are a framework that let your body do what it was built to do. Manage glucose efficiently. Manage insulin sensitivity. And protect yourself from the inside. I've been living proof of this for nearly 60 years, and not from a lab. In real life, with a job that demands physical work, with a family, with all the pressure and the unpredictability that a real life brings to us all. The Dominate Diabetes system is built around this framework. If you're ready to go deeper, to understand not just the what, but the why, and to build a daily approach that actually fits your life and works, the link is in the description below. But why not get started right now, tonight? Open your freezer up. Check out your ice cream or anything else. Check the labels. Throw out anything that you don't understand what's in it. If you have a ripe banana on your counter, slice it up, freeze it. Make yourself something really good that proves that this does not have to be a life of deprivation. I want to know what you try. Drop it in the comments. Tell me which one you made. Tell me what your glucose meter showed. And more than anything, tell me how you liked it. How did it taste? Your real world data matters to me. If there is someone in your life that gave up every dessert the day that they got their diagnosis, send them this video. They deserve to know that this exists and it's really good. And it's really good for them. I'm Stephen Michael Smith. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a salesman. I'm just someone who has been doing this for nearly 60 years and wants to see you thrive. and I want to be here to help you if you need. Have a great week and go make some ice cream.